Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of, CTD Tech Wednesday now. We, of course, moved it from Thursday nights. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Wednesday night broadcast. And, of course, we will welcome in the man himself, Ron. How are you?
Man? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Had a good day today. So lots of things going on in the world of CtD. True Ball Reviews is, of course, up and running on the YouTube channel. So if you are joining us from there, welcome. We also post those on the Facebook page as well. Lots of reviews coming down the pipe here in the next couple weeks. And of course, those will be consistent as those new balls come out and we can get those videos shot. So hope you all are enjoying those. If you do have any suggestions on the True Ball Reviews, never hesitate to reach out, give us a suggestion. We'll be happy to implement those into our next round of shooting videos. So, Ron, anything going on in your world?
Man, we're always busy, man.
Yeah.
Always busy, which is a good thing, right? I can tell you lately, we've just been trying to get some kind of the final touches done to the EC, a couple of pieces that we need to put in place. The building is officially open, though. People can go to the website and sign up for some education if they want. So that is going well. But we have a few little things we want to do just to kind of set it off a little bit, make it a little different. So working through some of those things. At that point, man, it's just going to be people come and hang out and learn and educate. We can throw a little league in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about having it's a little league. It's a little league just to kind of keep the machines going and, just keep everything rolling, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, people can go to the website to sign up. Is there a specific place they go?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up that link right now. We want to get them to go to the educational center, sign up. And I'll get a little link posted in the group or posted on here, and you'll be able to come check us out, man.
Yeah, so the EC is going to be set up to have quite a variety of options in terms of going there and bowling. You can either just go to practice, so you're just by yourself. You can also book for a half-a-day reservation as well as a full day. To get into the EC, get some, of course, education, start to become a better bowler. So it's all about that education to bring your game to the next level.
Got to get to the next level, man. Got to get some practice, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just posted the link right there. It'll upload here, and then you'll be able to click that link and go right to it, right to the reservation page. So yeah, it's busy. It's real busy. We got a lot going on. Looking forward to some of the tournaments coming back online. That'll be good. Going to see some friends at those events always is a good thing. And we'll get back to this R&D too. Get back to working on some new products, some new projects. So the EC was a big deal. We had to get it done. But now we're at a pretty good spot with it to where we can begin to transition back to some of the other things that we like to do as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it feels good to know that it's finally there and pretty much done.
It's close. It's definitely what you're going to get. Like I said, these things that we're doing now are more cosmetic than anything else. It's more cosmetic stuff that we're doing now, not anything that's major or would detract from somebody being able to come visit and hang out.
That is a good thing. It is a good thing. So click on that link. If you're just joining in with us, that can get you to the website. And if you're interested, book a reservation for the Education Center. So anything else you want to touch on there before we hop into tonight's topic?
No, man, I think we're good. I think I'm kind of ready to kind of do a little dive into this topic, man.
All right. So if you did not see, there were a couple big announcements today in regards to professional bowlers. The first one being Josh Blanchard is, of course, stepping away from professional bowling to pursue other ventures, and we, of course, wish him the best. And Tom Smallwood going to Motive, and, of course, we talked about that with Rob Johnson a few weeks ago, him leaving the Brunswick family and going to Motive, announced today. So what are your initial thoughts on that?
I think bowling's changing. I think you're seeing some of the fallout of COVID, of professional bowling, of just a lot of things that are going on with the state of bowling. It's hard. It's hard to be a professional bowler. I actually went to go look at some of the players' salaries, um, and it kind of begins to paint a little bit of a picture of kind of what's going on when you are a high level, high performing professional bowler. So I looked at Josh Blanchard as an example. So this year, 2020, obviously he's been cut short from events, right? They cut a lot of events out because of the COVID situation. But so he's bowled 10 events. Of those 10 events in 2020, he cashed 3 times and made match play twice. So you figure, I don't know when. Let me see when it actually started. I think it was January is when they had events starting. Yeah, so they had the Hall of Fame Classic was January 13th. So you figure in those 10 events, he cashed 3 times for a total of $11,750. So you think about that from January all the way through now, which is into September. We're almost in October. You made $11,000. That's tough, right?
Yeah.
And he would have had more opportunities to make money had things been going, but he only got the bowl from January to March, and then everything stopped. So I know he's picked up a few things since then. Some regionals. He's done some regionals. He actually won a regional, I think, last week. Maybe yeah, it was last weekend for $2,000. But I mean, that's rough. So I think, and then he isn't the only one that's decided, that they're going to try to take a step back. One of our staffers that we had, Ryan Simonelli, the same thing. He's going to take a step back too. But I just think that's part of what happens when, you begin to make some life changes and circumstances begin to change. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's all about being able to eat, pay bills, and you can't pay bills and eat and live a life for $11,000 in the first almost 10 months of the year.
Oh, must, yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if you told me, if you was like, hey, look, I'm gonna pay you, basically a little more than $1,000 a month, $1,100 a month, and that's you got to use to live, that's tough.
yeah,
That's tough. And I don't know how unemployment works for professional bowlers. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I imagine that I would hope that there's something there, but regardless, I mean, these guys when they're striking, they're making lots of money. So, if you're not able to strike because you can't compete, you got to figure out something else.
yeah, and I think by no means is he going to. Well, I could be wrong, but I don't think he'll be stepping away from bowling completely. Like Ryan Simonelli, he bowled a couple. I'm not sure if it was a regional or just bigger tournaments. Shortly after he announced his resignation from professional bowling full time, so I think he'll still be around. He's a good player. He's got a really good game. So I think we'll still see his name pop up every now and then.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? I think it's a full-time thing that stopped, right? So doesn't mean he's not going to bowl. Just means that's not how he's going to make his living primarily on a continual basis. And like I said, that's hard, man. When you look at people at the highest level, and you look at salaries, which is their winnings, you got to remember they're being taxed on that. You got to remember they got to travel for that. You got to remember they have all this overhead and expenses. Now, some of that can be offset or mitigated from the ball companies that would pay them some money to be on staff, but not everybody gets that opportunity. And even if they do get the opportunity may not be very large. So you still may be in the hole, right from the beginning. So it's tough. And, I think this is what happens when, people can't make their living because of, in this case, extenuating circumstances. Nothing anybody can do about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes total sense why he would step away. From the sounds of it, he has something lined up already with a new venture. I'm not sure what that is and in the whole scheme of things, but of course, like I said, we wish him the best of luck. hope to see him around the game in the near future. Sort of going off of that, we have something completely opposite of the spectrum with players switching companies, especially in the middle of the situation that we're in with, of course, no bowling, with Tom Smallwood being announced that he went to Motive Staff today. So he is going to be one of the faces of their brand now. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think changes, people moving companies, the bowlers are trying to make the best decisions that they can make given the circumstance. Tom had been with Brunswick Radical Brunswick for a long time. I actually went to go do just a little digging on him too, just to kind of see. And so, 2020, same kind of situation, right? Where wasn't able to bowl a whole lot of events. He bowled 10 events. He cashed 6 times, made 5 match plays, and got to the cashier's round once for a total of almost $26,000. So obviously that would be better than what we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. But once again, it stopped. You're rocking and rolling $26,000. You're in for 3 months. So that's not a terrible. That's not a terrible start by any means. But then, after March, it's zero. Mm-hmm. You're stopped and you're stuck at zero. So that makes it rough. And same kind of situation. And Tom's got, he's got some titles. He's got a fair amount of titles too. We didn't mention Blanchard's got some as well. But Tom, the prior year, 2019, this is kind of interesting. So in that year, he did get to bowl the whole year. He had 21 events and only made $30,000. So he actually started off 2020 in a much better position, have as many tournaments and almost the same amount of money. So, in the year prior to 19, he made $66,000 with 14 events. So I would say that, it's the same situation, man. This COVID thing, it forces you to make decisions. And I don't know if his decision was monetarily based or not, but at the same token, he's doing what he feels is best for his company or for his family, him and his family. So you're seeing a lot of people move from company to company. And I think that I don't think that's the end of it either. I think that's just kind of the beginning of it. What makes it so interesting to me is that this moving is happening and there really isn't a lot of professional bowling going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's a little bit odd. Like, why would a company want to go acquire a person when there's not a whole lot of bowling going on? But maybe there's the thought of, well, it's all going to come back and it'll all get better. So let's get them now while we can get them. And then we'll figure it out on the back end. Could be, yeah. It could be with, something like that too. So I don't know. But yeah, same thing there. We it'd be interesting to see. I think at the highest level, at the level these guys are at, the balls are less important because their ability is what kind of gets them through. And that's not true in every single case, because I've seen situations where bowlers switch companies, got some different bowling balls, and then we're no longer competitive. But for the most part, they can adapt, they can adjust, they can do whatever they need to do to be able to make changes. I mean, once again, another CtD staffer, Michael Martell, switched companies. So I think you're going to see more of that. I'm a little not concerned. I'm a little baffled as to why the ball companies are doing that. But nonetheless, the players, it's got to be some sort of motivation on their end to be able to make those jumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the companies are thinking long term with these players, especially the Tom Smallwoods and like the bigger name players. They're thinking 2, 3, 4 years down the road when these guys are going to be bringing in titles, because titles with ball A that this guy wins with, that means sales of said ball. So I think they're thinking down the road. Granted, we don't know when everything's going to be back to normal. From the sounds of it, with larger events, not really anytime soon. So I think it'll be really interesting to see when things come back and if these plans that the companies have are going to pay off in the long run.
Let me ask you a question, Dustin. Do you think that that a particular player winning on TV with the bowling ball turns into ball sales?
I would think so. I'll put it to you this way. I know it's not true. It might be, but I'm your favorite bowler, and I win a title with a ball, any ball. And you're such a big fan of me that you say, I want to go buy that ball because he won with that ball. You don't think that would be the case?
So who's your favorite bowler?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a favorite bowler, to be honest with you. Chris Prather. Let's say that. I like how he throws it.
All right, you like Chris Prather. What's the last bowling ball he used to win a title?
I don't know.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know that the translates in the balls. I'm actually probably see if we can go find out real quick, but I don't know that it translates into ball sales.
You don't think so?
I don't. I mean,
You
even
don't think?
when I was at a ball company, I worked at a ball company. We never saw like back in the day it used to, right? Like back in the day, if a ball got hot on TV, then everybody would run to go buy it. But I can't remember. Now, granted, we haven't watched a lot of bowling. We haven't. But I can't remember the last time I saw somebody throw a ball and I remembered what it was to like, oh yeah, that's a good ball. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And to be truthful about it, when you watch the balls that the pros throw, a lot of them are throwing lower end stuff anyway.
Yeah.
They're not throwing high end balls. I mean, that's not totally true. Sometimes they do throw high end balls, but for the most part, they're not throwing high end balls. So, and they may even be throwing new air balls. I remember people winning with high road pearls as an example. That one popped in my mind, and I'm like, that's not a new ball. Or pitch black, that's not a new ball. Those balls are old. So I don't know that it translates into ball sales. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not advantageous or useful to have those players, on staff or doing some stuff for you, because there's a whole other side of it, the marketing side of it. Look, see Johnny Cross. Look what Johnny Cross just said. He says the TOC was one with the Omega Crooks. I only know because I was there in the stands. See, Johnny saw it himself firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember that. And then Wayne's like, I think you remember the brand more so than a specific ball. Now that may be true.
Sure.
Like, okay. So what brand is Chris Prather using?
Roto. Storm Roto.
Is it Storm or Roto? Which one?
It's Roto.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking. So maybe you remember the brand, but then does that translate into you going and buying a Roto grip ball?
It might. I mean, if I'm newer and I like this guy, I might go buy a Rubicon or a Hustle Inc. or whatever he's throwing.
Okay. Well,
do you not agree with that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think the majority of consumers don't know and don't see that as a indicator that says go buy me. Like I think in the past it did. I just don't think that they see that as an indicator as well. That means I need to go buy that ball because that ball's, the hot ball or it's the good ball or it's the new ball or whatever. I think you see a lot more influence off of reviews. I mean, even we're experiencing that. We do ball reviews on balls. We can specifically sell that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a direct 1-to-1 correlation. We post a ball review, we sell that bowling ball. So, and I'm not saying that we're the ones that are doing that per se, as much as to say, I think that there is definitely some influence from different avenues, whether it's watching a ball review from your favorite ball review person, or whether it's going to a demo day and demoing a ball. I think those things have a bigger impact on influencing the consumer to purchase than if they saw a ball on TV. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
What we got? This is interesting. Are bowling balls for bowlers what sneakers are for basketball, like LeBrons and Jordans? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
Oh, you
see?
said
What's that?
Rob said that didn't print the one with the idle solid.
He
So
won
that's
something with that because, like, I remember watching it, and it's like that's purple. Like I thought it looked purple on the show, and no, it was. I think it was the regular Idol or the first one.
okay. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting to see some of the responses. So Daryl says he wanted to try airball for the first time, got a redemption hybrid, and after the second week he shot a 300, his second 300 game with it. That's awesome. Nothing like a little perfection.
Now let's talk about this for a little while. So, player specific bowling balls. Did you? Not that I can think of, but was there ever talks when you designed bowling balls to do something like that?
For a player?
Yeah, like they were
The
the
brand.
name. They were on it.
No.
Don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, I think it's a very good idea with the right person. I think, Belmo, I think EJ having their names on bowling balls is helpful because they're obviously the best players in the world. So I
Yeah,
think that there's some inherent value in leveraging their names on bowling balls. Whether
sure.
those bowling balls are good or not, it's a function of how that compares for the average consumer. But I think that you can definitely create some excitement around a player having a ball after their name. I mean, I'm excited to see the EJ ball. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what it looks like because it's EJ's. We've thrown some of the Belmo balls. This is we're in the third one now, I think. And
fourth.
you know, four is it four?
Timeless drive promotion trend.
Oh yeah, it's four. It's a lot of balls, four balls. So so I'm curious to see how these pan out or how it pans out. I do believe that that's a good, and maybe that's a way for the company to get some of the investment out of the player. They invest money in the player. The player does really good, and they can get some of that, extrapolate that some of that back by launching bowling balls in that player's name. So it's good, real good.
Yep. So if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to throw them into the chat. We can get those answered for you. Is there anything else you want to discuss on that topic?
Yeah, man. I mean, you also see like uh, Jordan Richards. She moved companies too. She's now with Roto Grip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
She was with EBI before
Mhm.
they were acquired by Brunswick, and of course, less than 3 weeks ago, she signed with Roto. We saw quite a few people um, do that after the acquisition, which is interesting.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I've kind of I've been looking for, but I haven't been able to find it for the PW BA is their um, price, not price fund, but like a player's money that they've made. For the
Mhm.
guys, it's pretty easy. You can go to their picture, find their picture, and it tells you all their stats. With the ladies, I haven't been able to find anything regarding the money because it'd be interesting just to kind of know, roughly about how much money a female professional bowler makes too. Because obviously they're in a very, very unique position because they don't have, a tour, so to speak. So they've got to do some really, really unique things to be able to figure out ways to get, bring in income.
Yeah, so I just did a search here, and I have top earnings for 2019. Shannon O'Keefe was at the top with 87,275. Dasha Kovalova was at 67,675. Danielle McEwen was at 51,000. Sherry Tan was at 34,600, and Jordan Richards was at 31,500. So a little bit of a gap there in in terms of earnings for the top 5 players in that in the PWBA.
So 5 was how much?
5th was 31,550. First was 87,275.
So $50,000.
Yeah.
So let's do a comparison between that and the guys. That'd be interesting to see. You figure Belmo's going to be the top guy. And then I don't know who's going to be 5th. We'll have to go figure out who's number 5. But we will do that. We will figure it out.
All right. Got it here.
2019, right? 2019?
Yeah. Did you find it?
Well, I found Belmo. I knew Belmo was the top guy. So this is kind of interesting. This is really interesting, actually. So Belmo, the top guy, 2019 at $285,000.
Yep.
But this is what's more interesting. So Belmo bowled 9 events in 2020. He cashed every single time. He won 2 titles, and his earnings was $232,000.
Jeez.
So I mean, ouch. So like he bowled less than half as much and only made 50,000 less. So like he was getting ready to really, really crush him.
Yeah, let's see if we can. There we go. Can you see that or no? Let's see if I can zoom in.
All right, yeah. Here we go.
So Belmo is at the top with 285,000. Jacob is at 195. Bill O'Neill is at 185. Chris Prather is at 179, and Simonson is at 171. And EJ is not far behind Anthony with 171 as well.
So this is a good comment from Mark Buffa. He says that both tours have one dominant player, which hurts the rest of the field. Which I mean, that's true, right? But isn't that true in all sports though? Like is that true in most sports? Like, there's one person who like is the dominant player, and then everybody else is,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As far as I can think, yeah.
But I guess not though, because like if we're talking about professional basketball, that's not true.
Yeah, maybe 20 years ago, but not today. There's like a couple that are at the top.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. It's a very good point. It is interesting to see that disparity. I can't believe that. I can't believe that Belmo's number was so high for so many tournaments. That's
yeah. He had, the number that I just pulled up was 19 events for 285. So that's interesting that he had 9 events? Is that what you said?
9 events for 230. And this year, he had 9 events for 232 in 9 events. I mean, that's insane.
And that doesn't count like his sponsorships and all that. So that's insane.
No. And you figure he's been bowling on tour since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, wow. I mean, when
you see him year to year or no? I mean,
yeah, year to year. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Just like how much he's gone up and down.
So in 2008, he made $44,000 with the title. 2009, he made $80,000 with no title. So he doubled his earnings but didn't win. The next year, 2010, he made $62,000, didn't win. Then he starts to break out. So 2011, he gets 4 titles for $137,000, 2 titles for $186,000, which means he must have won a couple majors there. Then 2013. Oh, no, sorry, that was 2013. 2014, he won 3 times for $163,000. 2015, he won twice for $178,000. 2016, he didn't win at all and still made $95,000. 2017, he won 4 titles at $238,000. 2018, $110,000 with 2 titles. 2019, the 285, and then 2020, the 232. But his key is he's winning the big ones, right? He's winning the big money makers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what he has to do. I mean, he has to still manage his home life all the way across the world and figure out how to make money.
His career earnings is 1.8 million.
I'd be all right with that.
1.8 million in 12 years.
Yeah.
But that's the cream of the crop. Like that's as high as it gets. So, that's one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see, if you're not at that level, as you begin to go down, how successful you are. Who did you say was second last year, Jacob?
Yeah, 195.
Let's go look up Jacob. It's interesting.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Mark brings up another good point. There's, especially top 10, there's a $200,000 difference between first and 10th.
Wow. Wow.
Granted, it's still 86,000, but still.
Right. And it's amazing. I mean, you really gotta commit to this sport, right? First off, because you're bowling against the best in the world, and then you've gotta find a way to succeed amongst all these things that are really trying to hold you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So here is Jacobs. Were you able to find that?
Yeah. Go ahead though. You got it.
So we got first year on tour, 16,850. 2016, 32,000. 2017 was 49,000 with 4 titles. 2018 was 92,000 with 7 titles.
I mean, look at that. He won 7. I think there's some regional ones in there.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. 2019 was 195 with 5 titles. And then 25,000 for 2020 with 1 title.
Wow. It's interesting to look at their their monetary gains. And, he's young. He's still in his 20s. So that's good. Like that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got a couple of bowling ball questions. We should actually answer them too. So what do you think about the redemption hybrid? That's for you, Dustin. You've thrown that ball.
Yeah, so that's for me. That would definitely be something that I'm going to be throwing once the transition starts to hit. From what I saw, that ball needs some friction. So if I'm going to be migrating left, that's a ball I'm going to go for. So I would say if you're looking for something for the transition, it's a good ball to look at. But if you're looking for something for the fresh, I would go from hammer to ebonite and try out the arrow.
Yeah, arrow was surprising. That ball was really strong.
Yeah.
That ball was really strong.
Yeah, that was really good.
So we got lots of ball reviews coming. If you guys don't know, we basically every other day, Monday through Friday, every other day, we post a long format or a short format video of a new ball. So today we posted the long format of arrow, which means on Friday we'll post a short format version of arrow. And then the following Monday, we'll go to another ball and we'll do long format as well. So we're doing that all next month too. We've got enough videos to do all next month too. So be on the lookout for that. If you're not seeing it, you definitely will see us launching a video on Ronald Hicklin Jr. YouTube channel every single other day. Every other day.
In other words, every other day.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had a couple of questions in regards to the web tour. This question here, what do y'all think about the Hammer Web Tour? And then Bill asks, where does the Web Tour fit in? So in terms of the balls that we've looked at, my arsenal would look like the arrow and then the Web Tour. Of course, depending on what I'm bowling on, The Web Tour could be first out of the bag. But what do you think about that?
No, I would agree. I like Web Tour from a usability standpoint. I think Arrow is one of those balls that if the conditions right, you're going to crush them. But as it transitions out of that ball's too strong. Arrow or Web Tour is more versatile. You can use it on a little bit more wider range of a condition because it's not as strong, but it maintains that really good continuous motion that you're looking for out of a bowling ball, especially when you're trying to read it. So, I mean, I think I was pleasantly surprised by some of the balls that we saw coming out of Brunswick manufacturing facility, branded with those other brands on them. I was pleasantly surprised with some of the balls. You got some good stuff coming. I know that everybody's pretty excited for a Widow to come, and I know that they're working on it. I would imagine we'll see one hopefully before the end of the year. I'd hope.
Yep. Yeah. Bill, the Web Tour was our favorite ball that we've done so far. Out of the 15 that we've done, you can find the order that we're going to go in on the YouTube channel. It's a video on the channel. We go through actually the first 5, but you can see the order of the balls that we like the best.
Yep. And like I said, we got a lot of balls coming. We're going to do as many manufacturers as we can. I know we've got some more balls already in that need to be tested, so that's will have to come back down, and we'll do some more testing. And we're going to keep adding to it, adding to the process. So initially, it's just the balls. We got 3 different camera angles. We're going to clean that up a little bit. We're going to add some more information in, and we're all tying it back to that IQ Tour, which is our control ball, and that allows people that have an IQ Tour standard like ours is to be able to get a good feel for how that ball would roll in their environment. The test ball would roll in their environment. So definitely looking forward to making some progress with our true ball reviews. Here's one. Will you give an order for your favorites at the end? We probably will do that, Bill, when it's all said and done. We'll talk in a couple of deep dive videos, probably one with the staff group too, where we'll do a Q&A after we went through all the balls and have some Q&A on what we liked, what we thought was best for what types of environments, so on and so forth, especially after we get to change some services. So far, all the balls have been thrown from the manufacturer's finish. Next will be we'll do some stuff where we get to check out different finishes on the balls and really begin to see how good they really are with some different finishes on them.
Mm. Yep. So if you have any final questions for us, feel free to go ahead and ask those. Of course, we are moved to Wednesdays now, so expect to see us on Wednesdays for CTD Tech Wednesday, and we'll go ahead and bring us up here. Be sure to like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, flick the bell, turn those notifications on so you know when the next episode of CTD Tech Wednesday is. We always go live at 8 p.m. Central, Eastern, and then, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I'm in Eastern. Sometimes we talk in Central, so it's just weird. But you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I mean, I think that's really, really good. I am pretty excited to continue that process and get some more videos out there. And then, like I said, we've got some special stuff that we're doing with the staff group as well on the new balls. So if you're not part of the group, join the group. Just go to the ctdbowling.com, just click on the staff link, join the regional staff. It's free to get in the staff group, get lots of education, lots of information, and some stuff that definitely will be helpful for your bowling game. So pretty excited about where we're headed with all this stuff. The Education Center is officially open. You can go sign up. We posted a link in here. You can check that out. And I think that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah. So we'll do one final question here. Any idea where I can find the service on Lane 1 stuff? They say high gloss or dull.
What? Oh, yeah, I don't know. We'd have to. I mean, if I had some Lane 1 product, we could actually just use a surface scanner and figure out what the surface actually was. We don't have any of that currently available to us. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think service is such an important facet of ball motion that you need to know what you're dealing with, and that's kind of why you're going to begin to see more of us talking more in detail about that as we get through some of the reviews.
Mm-hmm. And Eric says, what about Motive? We reviewed a couple Motive balls. You will see those coming up in the next couple weeks. Those will be on the channel as well. The Drill, the Desert Tank, as well as the new Jackal Flash.
Yep.
All right. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate your flexibility with our, of course, change in dates. We will be back next Wednesday with another episode of CtD Tech Wednesday. It's crazy that we're already at episode 17 tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everyone's support, whether it be for the brand or coming out to hang out with us for about an hour. It truly means a lot to us. So thanks everyone for joining in. Have an awesome night, and we'll talk to you all next week.